Hey guys, I'm Amanda and I'm unique presenter number 3893. Welcome to volume 2 of my brow bootcamp. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to shape your brows to achieve that dramatic, beautiful effect that will help enhance the look of your face. First, let's start with the diagram showing the landmarks to be able to achieve this look. Alright, on this diagram, you can easily see the markings for the landmarks of a perfect brow. Number 1 illustrates the inner limit of the brow. This line goes from the corner of the nose up through the inner corner of the eye. This point marks where your brow should stop. There should be no hairs extending beyond this line. Number 2 shows the high point of the arch. This goes from the outer corner of the nose through the center of the eye. This is about the last 1/3 of the brow. Number 3 shows the outer limit of the tail of the brow. This goes from the outer corner of the nose through the outer corner of the eye. There should be no hair extending beyond this point. Number 4 shows the low line of the brow. This is equal with the folds of your eyelid. You don't want your brows to extend lower beyond this point. Number 5 shows the high line of the brow. This is basically just ensuring that each brow is symmetrical and even. Now that you've seen the landmarks, let's mark off one of my brows and I'll show you how I shape them. Alright, so now that you've seen the diagram, I'm going to show you the tools that you'll need to get started. You'll need something with the straight edge. I like to use this rat tail comb because it's straight and it's thin. Secondly, you'll need Unique's wonderful lash comb and brow brush. Obviously, you're going to need some precision tip tweezers. Unique's will be available September 1st. I like to have a small pair of scissors just in case you need to trim any extra long brows. And then you'll need something to mark on your skin to help you identify and mark off the landmarks. And then you'll need a shine cloth to be able to get those marks off. Alright, so the first thing we're going to mark is the inner limit of your brows. Take your straight edge, place it against the outer corner of your nose, go up through the inside corner of the eye, and straight up. Mark just inside of your straight edge, and that helps you identify the inner corner or the inner limit of your eyebrow. You should have no hairs extending further inward from that mark. The second thing that we're going to mark is the high point of the brow, or where the peak of your arch will be. You're going to measure from the corner of your nose through your iris and pupil when you're looking straight ahead. So stare straight into your mirror, place your straight edge against your nose, angle it through the center of your pupil. Place a mark above and below your brow. That helps you identify where the peak of your arch will be. The last thing that we're going to do is we're going to measure where the tail will be. Place your straight edge on the outer corner of your nose. Go through the outer corner of your eye, and then place a mark by your straight edge. You should have no hairs extending beyond that point. Now you have the main points of your brow marked off. Something that helps me from time to time is to go ahead and draw a line along my brow exactly where I want my brow limits to be. You don't want your brows to be too thick or too thin. This might be something that you'll have to play with a little bit, but I have found that the width of my pinky is about the perfect width of my brow here. So you can just place it there and see and kind of mark the lower limit of your brow. Draw a straight line from this lower limit up to your high point. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it serves as an excellent guide. You can see you don't want any hairs extending below that line. So any hairs that start below that, I'm just going to pluck and get rid of. Another thing that helps me is to go from my high point here down to my tail. And I don't want any hairs extending outside of that. So to start plucking, take your tweezers and start from the inner limit. So pluck any hairs that extend beyond that dot. You want to hold your skin very taut. And if you have any that are super close to that line, you can just leave them and kind of see and then gauge afterwards if you want to go ahead and pluck those as well. Remember, once they're gone, it's going to take them a while to grow back. Excuse me. So it's better to err on the side of caution and to leave those for later. So you can see I've gotten all of those hairs right there. The next thing that I like to do is to go along the bottom. So using my guide here, I'm going to pluck anything below the pink line. To hold your skin correctly taut, place your finger along the same direction parallel to your line and pull straight up. And then pluck anything below your line. This is going to give you a very, very, very clean appearance. Very clean brow lines. Okay. And then when you're going through your high point or your arch, you see your dot there. You want to make sure that this part where your little dot for your high point is the peak of your brow. To do that, you might have to pluck a couple of hairs out of that arch there on that line to help really define the high point of your brow. Then take your brow brush and brush your brow straight up. And you can see that some of them will be really long. Run your brow brush parallel to your bottom line. Get them to lay flat. You might have to trim a couple of long hairs, especially right at the inside. Here, I do have several long ones. So just trim straight across. Next, take your tweezers and pluck any hairs that are outside of the bulk of your brows. Again, you might have to pull your skin taut to really go through and clean that up. Get a nice, even line. You want your brow to be the same width from here through the high point. So this whole section of mine will be the same width. Then I go from my high point outward and just clean up any brows that are extending past my line here. And then I'm going to clean up my brows that extend beyond my tail point. And then I'm going to go through lastly and clean up brows that are along this tail here. And I just go through here and clean up the ones that are way out of line. You want to go from your high point to your tail, and you want your brow to kind of taper. So it will get thinner as it goes through the tail. Again, same width from here to your high point, and then taper off through the tail. And there you have it. Just going to clean up a couple more here. But hopefully you can see how I've done that. Then you just take your shine wipe and clean up your marks. Now you have a clean, beautiful brow. And then on Volume 3 of Brow Bootcamp, we'll go over how to fill in and continue to refine and shape your brows to achieve that perfect precision look. Thanks, and have a great day.
Bring it.